If you've ever thought to yourself, I would love to start FPV, but it's too expensive or maybe it's too complicated, this video is for you. G'day, my name is Stuart, and today we're going to be looking at this star. This is an upgraded drone that Emax has just released, their Nanoscout Pro. This is almost everything that you need to have an awesome time in FPV with a drone like this, and we'll also talk about some of the other cheap gear out there. So if you're wanting to start FPV today, this is going to be a fantastic choice. I'll show you it flying around. We'll do some indoor and outdoor flights and also talk about some of the more advanced options if you want to spend a little bit more. But for the budget focused, let's dive right in and have a look at why this is a fantastic beginner starting drone. We're going to throw it on the scales. It's coming in at about 28 grams, 28 to 30 grams right here. It has a 1S battery in it. And the reason why this one is kind of special is because this is actually an upgraded version that Emax has released previously. They've gone back to the drawing board a little bit and say, hey, what do pilots want? How can we make this even better? And what I'm happy to say is you're going to get some pretty significant performance upgrades. So this thing is faster. I think it flies better than the original. So as well as being a great beginner choice, it also has some legs. So you can extend this, take this to the races, have a good time. You're about to see that in just a little bit as well. Of course, the analog version here, I think it's $130. And now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Hey, Stu, you said $130, but that picture says $180. What's wrong with you? I mean to say 180. Blame the Australian education system. I'm sorry. And there is also a HDzero version. HDzero is just like some fancy a digital sort of system that we have. It has some really good latency, but it is significantly more expensive. So if you're a beginner and you want something and is value focused, this is my recommendation. The analog one, you're going to have a great time. You're going to see just why. Now, in this video, you will actually see me flying with some of these radios and goggles in the background. Like specifically, I fly around with these old Sky Zones. The goggles part, that is where there is going to be some price discrepancies. There are some really, really cheap goggles. There are much more expensive goggles, up to like $1,000. The important part to know is because that this is an analog drone, if you go over to like DIYFPV and you have a look at the analog goggles there, it's going to give you a whole market readout on all the different types of analog. Analog means you don't need to get tied down to one specific like company or one brand, whereas some of the digital systems out there, like if you get DJI goggles, you have to fly a DJI VTX. If you get a Walksnail one, you got to fly a Walksnail VTX. This, it's analog. So many different people make analog goggles, so that's going to suit a lot of you. And the radio that I recommend to get to bind up to this, something like the Radio Master Pocket, just an awesome radio. There is a reason why it is the most recommended radio for beginners and people want to have a good time. There is like almost zero limitations here when it comes to this. Marry it up to this, it's going to be awesome. So what we're going to do now, I want to just take you for a flight. We'll have some fun and show you exactly why if you are cruising around with a little drone like this, you're going to have an awesome time. Like this is exactly what FPV is about. Alrighty, here we are just taking off right here. And this thing, you got to remember, it is a tiny little drone. So the driveway that I've got right here is quite long. It does have enough speed, but I want you to understand this isn't going to be as fast as those really big, like expensive racing drones that you see with like huge propellers. It is just all about having an awesome time for beginners and also intermediate pilots, because when you fly this thing around indoors, then you're going to notice that actually it does have a little bit of power. But when you're in a big open field like this or with a lot of space to fly around, these little drones, they will get pushed around by the wind. Now, all these little flickers and things that you can see right here, that is just like normal operation. That probably needs to be made really, really clear. The good news is you will get used to it. But if you are looking at this, you're like, wow, is that actually what analog FPV looks like? Yeah, sorry, that's the short answer. This is standard definition. Think of your standard programming on your TV. This is what it's like. There are more expensive options out there. If you want to go look at some things like DJI or Walksnail or Ascent or any of the others, are going to give you a better bit of image quality. But the good news about this one, it is cheaper than any of those, and also you're not going to have any latency issues as well. So what I'm going to do, let's show you some indoor flights as well, where this thing sort of really does excel. And you can notice, see how it says air mode right here? You can switch this between like a mode where it is going to do exactly what you tell it to. Think of like a manual mode, or there's also a self-leveling mode, which you can put in as well. So it's always going to ride itself. And I tend to use that a little bit more indoors. Here we go. Just getting a bit of a lay of the land. So for a tiny little 1S craft, it performs great. Let me show you what it's like indoors. Alrighty, so here you can see flying around in my kitchen, trying to cruise around, and look, it is in angle mode. I'm in the way right here, that's probably what I'm going to recommend, especially if you're a beginner trying to learn to fly around indoors. I was trying to do like some little backwards part without crashing into anything up and down this hallway. This is where you're going to have so much fun. That's the beauty and why I would recommend a little craft like this as well, because you really can fly anywhere. Got an office, got a little car park that you want to fly it around, got a little park outdoors. Maybe you do have a large open space and you're still learning, or if you have somewhere indoors, it's going to be a blast to fly around. Now here, you see I switched into air mode. I find that a little bit better in an outdoor environment. But one thing I want to mention is look at the dynamic range. When it goes from a really bright environment to a really dark environment or vice versa, that's when, like coming in right here, you can't see too much on that exit. And that's why I almost crashed into some of the things swinging there, the little kid swing that we've got. But overall, it's a really, really fun little drone. And I think for about $140, like when you can rip through your house, have an awesome drone, a drone that's indoors, outdoors, just amazing. That's exactly what I like about Emax. It is not going to be the fastest. It is not going to give you the best image quality versus a lot like $1,000 drone. What this does do for 130 bucks is a drone you can have a great time with, and just it's not going to be too much of a problem as well when you crash this thing, because I do have a couple of impacts with this. It holds up fine. So all in all, an awesome beginner drone. I'd love to know what you think as well. Like, would you fly this around indoors and outdoors? And probably something that is worth noting, if you took this to a whoop race, to a little meetup, that's where you're going to have so much fun. A couple of these racing your mates, I cannot recommend like the enjoyment you're going to get from FPV. If you're starting this hobby, like a thumbs up to a little craft like this that makes it possible. Now, I didn't go through any of the other extras that you do get with this. You do get some things like spare propellers. You get a little charger as well, which is by USB, which is why if you're a beginner, and it means you're not going to have to go and buy separate batteries, a separate charger. Like I've actually got some over, they're actually a little bit out of shot, but I've got some of my chargers set up over here, because you need those proper chargers when it comes to bigger drones. A little whoop like this, having a USB charger, it is enough. And plus, the batteries are pretty cheap as well compared to some of the other batteries out there for larger drones. It's going to be able to crash. The big one, I can highly recommend getting something like the Radio Master Pocket. This I would put in the same value category. This video is not really all about the Radio Master Pocket. It's about this new release from Emax. However, I think it would be a disservice to the spirit of people getting into the hobby to not mention this as a great radio to get. I'm not going to even put any affiliate links or anything like that for the Radio Master Pocket. That's just going to be down there. I'll link you to DIYFPV, which shows you all the different prices and exactly where you can get this radio from. It's a great radio if you're going to get into FPV. And the beauty is, even if you do outgrow this little like whoop that we've got right here, the Nanoscout Pro, this radio, I would be happy if they said, Stu, this is the only radio you can ever use. Well, fine, that's done. I get so much out of it. It does everything we need for an FPV pilot. The only tricky part is a set of goggles like this. Have a look at some analog goggles. Have a look at some secondhand stuff. Like these are some old Sky Zones that I have. I don't even know if they actually make these anymore, but the goggles are going to be the most expensive part in this setup. And I recommend getting a decent pair of goggles as well. You're not going to be able to, I'm not saying get the most expensive goggles out there, but also don't get the cheapest pair, because the experience that you can have, like just with these three, these goggles, that radio and that drone, it's going to be next level. The goggles will let you down if you get a really, really cheap pair. So if you can, please, I am telling you, invest in a better pair of FPV goggles. You want them to be comfortable on your face. And if you really want to future-proof them, look, something that has like HDMI in, then it's just going to be next level. Shout out to Emax, because I love the mission that they have, which is all about getting people flying. They want people to have a great time and just enjoy the hobby, enjoy the skies, and that resonates a lot with me. For people who just want to have an awesome time. We don't need to cater to the top 1% perfect FPV racing professional pilots. Are you just somebody who likes to cruise around their kitchen, crash into things, and chase the kids around with a drone? Like, yeah, so anyway, that's why I recommend this. Go check out DIYFPV. It is incredible. If you're getting to FPV as well, there's like a pilot map there. You can meet other pilots. There's a free simulator so you can practice your skills. You can hook your Radio Master Pocket up to the simulator that I built on DIYFPV. It is the website that I made because when I started FPV, nothing like that existed. I have built it to help you get flying and have an awesome time. So anyway, I'll see you over there. And as always, happy flying.